Alright, welcome back to another episode of War of Divisions with the Ultimate Chi. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a thing called Theory Craft, which I normally don't do. I normally just... Nah, who am I kidding? I normally just pick out the character, but I still do Theory Craft on my own. I just never really, showed it to you guys. But at any rate, since everybody else is doing Rhaldor videos, I might as well do one as well. Here's a theory craft on what's the best Esper to run, what team to run him with, etc. And the main reason I'm doing this is because I'm probably not pulling him. There's a whole bunch of other crazy stuff coming out in about a month. I technically have the capability to support this character, however, I'm not too big about the strike meta. But realistically, what you really should think about is the fire meta. Because fire, I think, is the only element right now that has a double anthem. What I mean by double anthem is a double master ability that gives plus fire damage. There's two of them right now. And according to War of Divisions calc, it stacks. So anyways, big shout outs to War of Division calc, everybody uses them, they're awesome. Buy them a cup of coffee, like Mr. Dia says. Anyway, so everybody else is doing videos on Rhaldor, oh my god, it's hard to say that name. Okay, but they're all doing it in a strike manner, right? But really, because there isn't that much support for strike at the moment, even with the new weapon given, okay? Because there's no vision card that gives strike damage. However, what there is fire damage. If you run him as a fire set, I think he would work a lot better than if you ran him as a fist set. At any rate, let's hop right into the stats. First thing I noticed about the stats is he's weak to water and he's weak to magic. That screams out one thing to me: you're gonna get one-shotted by Ildira. Especially in Ildira that has, especially in Ildira with 15 Man-Eater, 15 Fire-Eater off of the Mind Flayer card. The other thing that popped right out to me is the perfect Esper for this guy. So everybody else is telling you to run Golem if you want him to tank, which is true. You can run him with Golem, or Odin if you want him to DPS, which is, I mean, everybody says that, right? Those are two best Espers in the game. You want to tank, use Golem. You want to DPS, use Odin, right? Super speed plus 25 Man-Eater is basically BS. That's best for everybody. It's BS and it's BIS. Anyways, I think the best Esper to go for Rhaldor is a Gaion, and this is a pure fire team that I drafted up. And he has no equipment because the War Division calc hasn't supported that yet. But realistically, platinum robes for 18 armor, the fist weapon, and then TMR you can use bells or you can use whatever you want. But at any rate, skills, Holy Knight protection, V-floor. So look what happens once you use a Gaion. You essentially have no weakness. You're weak to Earth, but there aren't a lot of Earth units walking around. I mean, name two popular Earth units that's in the meta right now, right? Killfei is one. Who's the other one? There really isn't another one that I can think of off the top of my head. I guess Hitone, Mont. There aren't that many Earth units that are really, really good right now. There's Zombie Ryu, but he's pretty rare. About as rare as Ketone. So, realistically, you don't really have to worry about Earth. And you can have, when you have a Gaion, you can run him two different ways. The Gaion I'm running here is Pierce and Magic Resist. This will take care of his Magic Resist. A Gaion innately will take care of his water weakness. And if you really want to troll people, you can run him with 25 Water Killer. It's just like, I'm gonna pick a fight against Rhaldor, and then all of a sudden you're dead. You just get hit. Or I run him with this build with the 15 Pierce resist, 15 Magic resist, 5 Water Killer. I think 5 Water Killer is sufficient. Because look at all the fire attack you have on this setup. 65 fire for Rhaldor, 75 for Mashuri, 65 for Rain. Obviously, this setup depends on a very key card, being this one. This is the Crystal Keeper card that came out for the Crystal Chronicle collab. People that I think that's the one right after Final Fantasy Tactics 2. But if you were able to cap out this card, suddenly it's amazing. And this is really the best card for Rhaldor if you're going to use him as a tank. If you're going to use him as a DPS, it's Ifrit. Because this card, even though it doesn't give a lot of magic damage, even though it gives magic damage and not a lot of attack, it gives defense and the fire attack. Realistically, what you can do is you can kind of juggle the cards around. So if you're going to use him as a tank, then his attack isn't that big of a deal. So you can kind of skip out on the 100 or so attack that comes on the card. Or alternatively, what you can do is you can give this card to Rain, and then all of you will still have that fire attack, and then Rain will be the tank. So if you're going to run him as Bruiser, then you're not going to run this setup. This is a tank setup. If you're going to run him as a Bruiser, you would just shift these two, shift Odin and Ifrit over to him, and then shift this card over to Rain. And Christmas Mashuri just holds the filler card. But basically, this card and Ifrit put together is insane. And if you want to run him as a tank, with Platinum Armor, with Platinum Robes, he has 52 defense. But if you decide to run him with Golem, you can have something like 67 defense, which is insane. So, realistically, he can be built either way. You can go tank or you can go DPS. But I wouldn't sleep on a Gaion, basically. I would max out a Gaion as well as Golem and what's his face, and Odin. And this is the normal Golem build. You can technically get Pierce resistant on Golem as well. However, I prefer this build. Where I get pretty much 10 of each. 10 defense, 10 man-eater, and 18 pierce. But basically, one of the units that you kind of have to worry about for water type, right? When I first see this guy and he has a mechanic about getting hit 5 times, I was thinking, well, I guess Glaciella with triple piercer would be good. However, once you wear a Gaion, all of a sudden, and somebody else is either wearing Fenrir or Fenrir if you worry about magic, or you can wear Leviathan and just straight up counter these Lance builds. My computer lagged for a moment there. If you ran a Gaion here, you're running 50% miss. You're running 50 pierce resist here, 30 pierce resist here, 25 pierce resist here. You're basically you got 50 pierce resist just from running a Gaion and Leviathan. This third card is a filler card, but basically this is just a quick sample setup of what a fire team would look like. But when you're running something like 65 fire, 75 fire, 65 fire on top of whatever attack you have, here Mashuri has almost 1,000 attack, and he doesn't have any attack because he's not wearing he doesn't have very much attack because he's not wearing a weapon. That's just the limitations there. But you can see that they're decently fast. Around 80 speed is okay for 80 speed for a tank is pretty good, to be honest. And then you have essentially no weakness because you're weak to ground. And with everything equipped, you can have 52 defense, which is great for a tank. But if you're gonna go the Golem route, you can have you'll have a weakness to water. You'll resist thunder, and you'll have 67 defense, which is also awesome. So on top of the Paladin Guard, you're pretty much set to fight physical. However, this fire team basically makes it so that you're set to fight everybody. Because realistically, the only water unit that is seeing any play at the moment in the higher metas is Rhaldor. I can't think of any other water unit that's crazy popular. After Rhaldor, it's Glaciella and Miranda, I guess, and Christmas Ramada, but they're not all that popular. So it's pretty safe to run a straight fire team. People aren't gonna have too much defense against a straight fire team. And straight Pierce just doesn't have that support. I mean, straight Fist just doesn't have that support right now. Because there's no Pierce, there's no Strike vision card that gives that. There's no UR Strike vision card, and there aren't too many good UR Strike Espers either. So realistically, what you want to do is run fire and Maneater. All right, I think that's it for today. Just kind of my quick theory crafting BS. I do believe this will fly. Like I don't think it's. I don't think this is a dream. I don't think it's not gonna work. I think this is decent. And here you don't even have the guild statues activated. With the guild statues activated, I believe this one gives defense. So my guild is level 5. You may have a higher or lower, but basically this will give you close to 69 defense. That last statue's not out yet. That's why I don't have it. But between if you're gonna use Golem, you'll have 69 defense, and you'll also be resistant to Pierce. So realistically, you can run him to hunt like Kane, even though they're Sakura now. You can run him to hunt Glaciella, to be honest, and it'll be really awkward when like people try to run Glaciella against him and die. Also, a lot of YouTubers were wondering how is he gonna get hit 5 times, right? Or what's gonna happen after he gets hit 5 times? The game automatically kind of takes care of that, because once you have threat, they'll hit you. But the other thing is baiting out 5 hits, right? Okay, how are you gonna get hit 5 times? You fight a gunner, and then you use Saintly Wall. What'll happen is if you have threat and you fight a gunner with Saintly Wall, they're going to hit you with quad shot, because that's going to be their highest hitting damage attack. Because after 3 shots of the quad shot, the 4th one will be full damage. And that will break your Saintly Wall. But with 60-something defense, you're going to live, regardless of whether or not the Saintly Wall gets broken. And then from there, you just hit them with a Demon Purger, and that's probably going to be a one-shot with the +5 hit modifier. Alright, that's it. For this video. I was kind of hoping to go under 10 minutes, but we barely got 13 and a half. So we'll take what I can get. Thank you guys all for watching. Have a nice day.